Hey guys, today I've got a new pistol to show you. This is an H&K USP 40 Compact model with an LEM trigger. This comes from the factory with the safety removed. It's basically meant as a law enforcement or combat pistol. Comes in three calibers, 9mm, 40 Smith & Wesson, and 45. Of course, as I said, this is the 40 Smith & Wesson model. Overall length is just under 7 inches at 6.81. Barrel length is 3.58 inches. Without magazine, it is 1.47 pounds. With magazine, it is 1.71. It holds a standard magazine that comes with it holds 12 rounds. The trigger pull it kind of depends. It's got a unique trigger to it, and we'll get into that here in just a second. The action on this is a little bit different than some pistols. It uses a recoil-operated Browning locking system, but with a recoil buffer system, and we'll get in depth with that when we compare this to another pistol here in a second. It's got a proprietary H&K rail. It has an H&K style mag release, which we'll go into detail with here in a second. It's a double action only trigger. Now it's a really good double action, and it is a double action only, so some guys may not be too happy with that. As I said, the pistol is designed for police or combat, so it's as it is a compact model, it's pretty well dehorned, and any sharp edges have been removed. Keep these clear. It's got a nice, smooth, and almost completely sunk-in integrated hammer. It does come with tritium night sights on it. The sights are adjustable. Has an external extractor. Of course, it is made in Germany, or at least the major parts are made in Germany and reassembled here. Alright, this pistol is used by police and law enforcement all over the world. Actually, this isn't my pistol. This is actually my brother's pistol. He bought it from my father, who had bought it, and he had bought it as part of the new program that would allow pilots to carry firearms on board the aircraft to help deter terrorism. And he ended up going with the Glock model, switched it out because this was a bit heavy for him. So my brother bought this off of him for a pretty good deal. It's a little bit older model USP, but it still works really well. I'll show you that. Comes with, of course, a really nice H&K 40 case with an extra magazine. Some of the unique features of this pistol, as I talked about and we'll go into detail later, is the unique double action trigger on it. First, I'm going to start off with some more of the cosmetic features. As you can see here, it has a proprietary H&K style rail system. That's just kind of a bummer. You are kind of stuck using H&K lights and lasers. I'm sure they did that on purpose. It is H&K after all. You can attach there's a H&K Picatinny rail. It's a rail. It fits into the H&K slot and gives you a regular Picatinny rail, but then you've got a Picatinny rail and then your mount and then your optic below it, and it makes the gun look kind of ridiculous. So I'm not using that right now. Has a nice, very aggressive checkered grip on it. Has these unique indentations on the sides of the pistol to make magazine extraction a little easier. Let me show you. So you can grip on it. Of course, it has a area for your thumb on there. One of the unique features on this gun is the magazine release. I'm not really a fan of it, but you could get used to it over time. Instead of the normal position here that you push to release it on most pistols, you simply push down this little triangle section here, extract the magazine, it will fall free. It's a training issue. You could get used to it. I'm not really a fan of it, but it is there. It's a little bit different. And like as I said, it is double action only, even though it does have an external hammer. You cannot put it into single action. It will only fire double action. It won't lock out. So can be kind of a bummer. You're going to get used to the trigger. The trigger is it's very good for a double action. It's not hard at all. If you've ever fired a large caliber revolver, it's very similar to say like a Smith & Wesson 686 model or a Colt Python model. It's got a really good double action trigger, but you know it is kind of a bit of a long trigger pull compared to other pistols of its class. Now, when talking about this pistol, there are a lot of compact model 40 caliber pistols out there that you could compare it to. So today I'm going to compare it against my very favorite pistol, which is my Sig P229. They're roughly the same size. They're roughly the same weight. They're made to do about the same job. They fire the same round. They're actually about the same age. And I think it's a good match between the two, so let's compare the two of them and see how they stack up against each other. Okay, we're going to attempt to show you disassembly here, and I'm going to have my brother disassemble it and tell you how to do it. So go ahead, let's do it step by step like we've never done it before.
Alright, first thing, safety first. It's clear. We checked it before filming, but like to do it on camera. Alright, so basically, if you've ever disassembled a 1911, basically the same spiel. Your slide lock here is also your pin, so you just pull the slide back about an inch or two and push on the pin. You'll see it depress in there. You can pull up on this. I don't have fingernails, so I need assistance. Pop it up, pin comes out, slide forward, and there's your grip, there's your pin, and there's your recoil spring,
recoil assembly,
fuller, all that good stuff. There's your barrel. I believe it's right around 3 inches. And there's your major components.
Alright, as you can see, it's not difficult. It's pretty similar to a 1911 in a few ways. It doesn't have that weird swivelly buffalo assembly nose thing at the end of 1911. So we're going to compare that to the P229. Okay, 229 is somewhat similar. Just release it. Check it. Yeah, magazine's good. Alright, on the 229, you want to pull back and lock the slide. Slide lock right there. It's got a takedown swivel here, so you just take the swivel forward, release the slide lock, pull it, comes straight off, compress the spring, take your spring and your guide rod out, and move the barrel, and you're all done. It's very simple. Both pistols are pretty simple. I think the 229 is a wee bit easier to do it. You don't need that three-handed thing to line up the slide back, but neither one of them is difficult, and both are easy to do with the proper amount of practice. Alright, in comparison to handling, this is a little bit unfair as the 229 has different grips on it. Both of them, of course, handle really well. They're both very ergonomic pistols. They're both about the same weight. The big difference will, of course, be the magazine release. I already showed you the unique one, the USP. The 229 already has a standard mag release. Both have a nice, large, open trigger guard. Both of them, of course, have tritium sights. H&K sights, I do believe, are just a bit better. As you can see here, they're a little tighter. The Sig is a little bit older, though. The H&K is dehorned. It's quite a bit smoother. A lot of the rough corners are rounded off versus the 229. The 229 isn't bad, but it does have a standard trigger on it, or hammer on it. H&K, of course, like I said, it's designed for carry, so it's quite a bit smoothed out. Let's see here. As far as accuracy goes, both of these pistols are extremely accurate. They shoot 40 caliber hollow points, solid points. Of course, they'll handle match ammo. They're very accurate pistols at almost any range. The difference between the two of them is going to be kind of point of impact versus the Sig standard aiming, and we'll show you what I mean here in just a second. Okay, what we're talking about for point of impact between these two pistols, I'm going to have my brother kind of give you guys an idea of what we're talking about. Go ahead.
Yeah, I used to, with all the pistols I've owned, sort of doing the 6 o'clock, which is where you actually put your target slightly above the front sight so you can see it. I like this because I can see the target and I'm used to it. And I noticed when I first took this baby to the range to shoot, they were dropping way low. And I know I'm a bad shot, but not that bad shot. H&K has it set up for point of impact aiming, and it's set for 25 meters from the factory. So what that means basically is you want to cover up your target that you're aiming at. I'm not a big fan because I actually like to see the target, but you know, covering it up is the point of impact versus the 6 o'clock. There's also 50-50, what you see is a little bit in the middle, a little more rare. But if you get the H&K, you have to aim point of impact, and your reference is 25 meters. That's where it's zeroed. I'm not sure about the Sig since that's yours.
It's 25 meters also, but yeah, it is measured for 6 o'clock. So that is unique. If you are shooting it, it will definitely mess up your accuracy until you get used to it. So not a big deal, but it's something you need to be aware of. And like he says, I prefer the 6 o'clock position myself. But, you know, hey, H&K likes to do their own thing. They're kind of like the Sony of the gun industry, so sometimes you just kind of roll with how they design it. As far as accessories go, there are magazines out there for them. As far as I know, they all hold 12 rounds. I've heard rumors that another company, Sig, does make 15, but I haven't seen any of them. There's lots of holsters out there. The guns will come with 2 magazines from the factory. I don't think they come with any holsters of any kind. It's just the 2 standard magazines for them. So, in conclusion, both pistols are a great deal for the money. They're both excellent. They're both German quality. I know this is kind of a short review. I have some videos showing you guys shooting it, but I mean, for me, it's kind of hard to review a lot of pistols unless there's a dramatic difference or something I really don't like about them. And having shot both, I do like both. I am a better shot with my Sig than the H&K, but the H&K is a good pistol. A lot of the things on the H&K, like I showed you earlier, the mag release is on both sides, so that's nice and ambidextrous. And with these cutouts, it's a lot easier to pull the magazine if you have sand, debris, or damaged magazine inside the gun you need to pull out real quick. With the Sig, doesn't have those. So that might be something to consider. They're both excellent pistols. I think either one would do really well in service. So if you're looking for pistols in the $600 to $1,000 range, I think either one will do. Like I said, the advantages to it are that it is dehorned. It is made for concealment and carry. It's a little bit lighter than the Sig. So take that into consideration. And hope you guys found this video helpful, and I'll see you soon.